G'day guys, Sam from GCI Trade Tech, and today we have this monster black Silverado 2500 with a different setup that we usually do along here. So we'll go through the features, what makes this one special, and we'll get into it. Alright guys, so we're on the driver's side of this monster. We'll start at the front, work our way through. So up in here we've got our chamfered headboard with our integrated sideboards, if you option in sideboards for tray onlys. Up here we have our flush mounted water. Moving down the toolboxes. Now on this particular build, the customer's option for all flip downs on this one. So as you can see, just a massive amount of storage up in here. This one also comes with central locking and toolbox lighting. Well, on our trays we have our unique sideboard rails and extrusion that we do just for our trays. So good tie down rails, fixing points. You can see here, this is where your sideboard goes. That's the latch that we were talking about earlier. Moving down, this customer's got the big offset tyres, so he's optioned in the wide guards. And the same on the rear. To have another flip down box with just massive amounts of storage here. This customer optioned in for this sort of storage system. It works better with them, with the drawers, pulling out stuff. It's a good spot for your compressors, air tanks, any of those sort of things that you want to bolt to the toolbox, but keep it nice, dry and dust free. Alright, going inside now on the driver's side. So on these ones, this is the 2-meter canopy. Yeah, the dual handles, again with central locking, lighting on these ones. So for this particular customer, they opted for maximum storage. But also wanted the Evercool. So this unit here, you can swap out drawer with bench, drawer, or your Evercool fridge. This is the 40 litre, and here we have a massive drawer with heaps of storage in here. So as you can see on this one, we haven't got a crazy lift. I'm about 6'2", and as you see, really accessible drawer heights here. Still get in. It's still up high, but it's good for touring. But it's not at a ridiculous height where you can't reach anything inside. So at the back here, you can see we just got our false floors fitted in here. This optimizes storage space, chairs, tables, swags, any of that sort of stuff. You got those fold down push bikes, all really accessible and easy storage up here in the back. So up the front here, we got prime position is the power package. This particular unit's been made by EC Off-Road to suit our canopies. This is the big Victron system. We have a number of different power systems from Enerdrive, Red Arc and Victron. So whatever tickles your fancy there, we have it. And as you can see here, this is like the main control hub, the Cymarine screen for battery life and whatnot here, all the different systems. You can also get your water tank levels plumbed into here as well, so you can check your water levels. But yeah, power on, you got cargo lights. Like on our ones here, you can change from amber to white lights or dual on off. To help with any of those nighttime Aussie encounters. So up on the front face here, we have two 240 volt outlets here. So good for if you want your coffee machine, microwaves, any of that sort of stuff, 240 volt outlets here. Also we have your Andersons in and out. So the extra in would be for if you had a secondary solar panel plug in to help with charging. And also up here we have another Anderson plug out for any 12 volt out. Alright guys, so around the back now we're going to start with the tray and I'll work my way up to the rear wall. Alright, so as before on the other side we have our custom extrusion along the back with tie downs all the way around, so good for any position, any tie down object that you have, you can get a tie down rail there. Moving down to our taillight buckets. We have, in this particular one, the blind spot relocation kit inside of here for sensor relocation, reverse sensor relocation located here. Also on this one, this customer's opted in for water and water pump. This is the outlet, so the wash down in here, and these units have plenty of water pressure when they go on full bore. Moving down to the center here, I'll crack that open. Is our massive tunnel drawer system here. So you can see plenty of storage there. You can throw your max tracks in there if needed. Moving down to the bottom section here, might be a bit harder to see. We have our GCI Trade Tech nameplate here. Just helps hide any of the undercarriage section there. Most of the time we leave them bare. We have our camera relocation over here, but it's also a good spot if you got your trailer cameras, trailer plugs, additional power. This particular unit has air out fitted onto here, so it's just a good starting platform if you want any of your other accessories or plugs up onto there. Moving up to the canopy rear wall now. This customer's opted for the dual wheels. This particular one's 35-inch, which we can fit in, which brings you in under the canopy line for your roof rack, also to get underneath the ladder here, so everything fits in nicely. And also, yeah, like I mentioned, we have the ladder here to access the roof. So this has a two-stage system. Stage one, obviously, if you want to climb up onto the roof rack, and the secondary system swings these down to access your spare wheels when you need to replace them. Also tucked under here between the wheels, we have our shore power inlet system. So yeah, whenever you pull up the camp, you can always plug your 15 amp into there, power up the system and charge batteries. And following up on top of the canopy here, this customer's opted in for our roof rack system. The extrusion that we use, you're able to put in uni-strut nuts, which you can get any of your local hardware shops. And then your fitting options up there are limitless. Lights, your canoe holders, rooftop tents, anything you can think of, and you can tie it down. And our extrusion has a fitting groove on all four sides. So it's not just the one side like your rhino racks and whatnot. This system you can go all the way around, fit it on the side like you can see up here, the side mounted lights as such. All right, so we've ripped around to the passenger side of this thing now. So same as before, but on this side, on the headboard, we have our diesel and AdBlue integrated fillers. You have your sideboard latch, also integrated. Tie down rail is the same as the other side, and also on this side we have the two flip down toolboxes fitted with central locking and toolbox lighting. So we'll get into the canopy on the passenger side now. So you open this up and we'll see the difference on this side. So starting out the front, we've got our 240 volt outlet panel here with cigarette, USB power outlets there. They can be swapped out for more USBs, USB-Cs, whatever you please. Down the bottom, so 4 240 volts here. Not fitted on this particular unit, but up in here you can have your inverter starter, remote starter. So if you're doing anything on this side, you can click the button, kick the inverter in and use your outlets here. Moving down, we have our staple, which is the Bushman 130 litre upright fridge. And as you can see, just plenty of storage in there for anything that you want to be taking away with you. Moving down on this particular side, so as you saw on the other side, it was a drawer only. This side we have a drawer with bench. So again, just massive amount of storage inside of here. And then I'll just open this one up. As you can see, a very large usable prep bench for anything that you would want them to do, sandwich making, any sort of prep work, good solid benches. Right down the back, as the same as the other side, we have our false floors, which goes all the way through, so plenty of access either side, long items, so yeah, good usable area here for any of your large bulky items. Tucked in up on the back corner here, we have our rear 240 volt outlet panel, which also houses USBs and cigarette sockets, the same as our front system here. So 2 ports for 240 and two port USBs up the back here for any of your powering and charging needs there. With this particular canopy, they've set it up primarily for storage use. You can see wide open areas, big open spaces. So what this customer was chasing was storage because they're towing the caravan, that's their living quarters. Up in here was mainly storage for your day trips and whatnot, but with the option of power. So as with a lot of our systems setups for our canopies, this is all configurable with pantries and kitchens, additional fridges, drawers, like you name it, we've pretty much got everything that you need. This particular setup is becoming quite popular with a lot of the long-term touring people, where they're towing the large caravan, but they need to store all the extra bits and pieces. Whereas this is where this canopy really shines for maximum storage use. Alright guys, so that wraps up this build on this big black Chevy 2500 with the storage canopy setup. As always, if you're interested in doing your own build or have questions or just after chasing a quote, hit up our website. Also visit our socials. We'd love to have a chat with you. Cheers.